there, dickhead.
Hello, folks, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Man Wrestling Podcast. Rick Crabb here with Chris Filato.
Hello.
We'll get on with our weekly review of events, including the big story involving the releases in the WWE. But right now, we have two distinguished guests on the line. We'll be talking later on this episode about walkout music for wrestlers, and we have two guests that could easily create great music for any wrestler, any company, anywhere. We have drummer Eric and lead guitarist and vocalist Lisa from Lisa Christ Superstar joining us. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
Pleasure's all yours.
Yeah.
It definitely is mine. I won't argue with it there. Folks, you might recognize their music. Just about every episode we've done of this show, the opening credits have their theme. And part of a song that they did under their previous name, the Workhorse 3, called Infect the Masses. That's the instrumental part coming right after Walter Matthau calling Chris a dickhead and everything else. And then when we show our opening credits, you hear these guys shred on guitar and drums. So.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
For real.
Okay, so Chris and I have seen different incarnations of your bands. Well, Chris hasn't had a chance to see Eric's groups yet, and you should, Chris. You gotta make that on your bucket list, motherfucker.
Okay.
So tell us basically how you guys got your start. I guess with your more recent incarnations.
We got our start 54 years ago.
Damn.
In a hospital in North Philly called Einstein, where we were both born 3 hours apart.
Awesome.
And
Really?
7. So we were born in the same hospital. She's 3 hours older than me. Wow. And we ended up, and we grew up together basically. So.
And a few months after that, Lisa got her medical training to be a nurse, right?
What's that now?
I said a few months after that, Lisa got her medical training to be a nurse, right? So.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
Thank God. But yeah, I've known her my whole life. We've always kept in touch, and then when my first marriage took a shit, she got on the horn and gave me a call. That was it. So we've been together ever since then, romantically. So, and then we had not too long after that, we started the band up. A couple of years, like maybe 2 or 3 years after that.
Yeah, it was just a natural progression for us to play together. I tell everybody the best way to keep your drummer is to marry them.
There you go. Well, I can't even play guitar, Hero, so I don't know. Maybe I'll have to take some lessons and find a pretty drummer out there one day. But
I think Nita Strauss stole your idea.
Well, maybe I could play drums and meet Nita Strauss. But anyway, all right. So you've been playing together for how long have you been playing together? At least what, like 10, 12 years, something like that, with this fairly recent lineup.
05.
Yeah, at least 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Over 10 years.
Yeah. So 05. Yeah. So that's like 16 years. My goodness. Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And we used to practice together when we were a lot younger.
Like in high school, we used to play together. We used to play, like when we used to, and we covered this in Workforce. In basement parties, we used to play, Wasted from Def Leppard. We used to play Greg Barchetta.
Yeah,
that's why we played it again. That's why we did a cover of it. Yeah.
Wow. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was at a party. I was playing in a band, and I got arrested at that party.
Oh man.
Yeah, Yeah. So, but we've always hung together. And when I was booking the Trocadero, I would always, I always booked his bands. He was in a lot of really good bands, and and I was playing, and we always kind of kept contact. And so, really, finally, playing music was the next step for us. We just had to. So it worked out great.
All right, terrific.
The next step is me quitting.
Once again, we're with Eric and Lisa from the band Lisa Christ Superstar here on the Grumpy Old Man Wrestling Podcast. Now, Lisa, I saw a recent interview with you. You mentioned about changing your name back to Lisa Christ Superstar from Workhorse 3. I know, tell us a little bit about that. How did that come about?
Well, years ago, I was in another band, and somebody just yelled out in the audience. I was playing a lead, and somebody yelled out in the audience, "Hey, you Lisa Christ Superstar!" And I was like, "Wow!" I'm like, that sticks right there. So that's where I got the name, and I kept that in bands that I played in. But then I was Lisa Christ Superstar with Blunker. We played, and we put out one album under that. And then I decided, that kind of fizzled out. I was like, you know what, let's start a new band. Eric and I got married. We started Workhorse, which was, we put out 3 fantastic records, which I'm really proud of.
The band started with they got the name Workhorse in it. Like Workhorse Movement, Workhorse this, what the hell?
So we were, last year, I went through a lot of changes, like health scares and stuff, and with COVID and everything, and I'm also a nurse, and I kind of had it last year, and it was a rough year for me, and I was like, you know what, screw everything, I'm Lisa Christ Superstar, this is the band that I want, this is what I want to put out, this is what I want to do, and I was just like, fuck it, it's just a time to do exactly what I want, exactly what we want.
Okay. Well, I had the pleasure of seeing your CD release party recently, and your CD is called Soundtrack of the Floating World. I actually want to put on one of your songs in a little bit, guys. Before we do that, the track I'm going to play is Silencer. Tell us if there's any story about that, how that song came about, anything.
Well, that was one that was kind of like a jam. Remember, I was kind of hitting the cowbell.
Mm-hmm.
To my cowbell beat, and then she came in with a riff, and
we kind of write our songs. Either he'll come up with something, or I'll come up with something. We kind of just mold it together. But that one kind of wrote itself. That's just that song wrote itself. Once we had the verse done in the chorus, I had to put the lyrics in, and the lyrics for me are about just if you're with somebody in your life that makes you quiet and doesn't let you speak up or talk up, it's screw it. Don't put up with that. Get out of that as soon as possible. We always have people trying to silence us, and don't do it. Be yourself and speak up. And if you're in a bad relationship, get out of it. And that's what the song is about.
Okay. All right. Well, right now we're going to.
She's more lyric oriented than I am. I'm more. I'm more into the music than I am the lyrics.
Gotcha.
So that's where she comes in. You know what I mean?
Awesome. All right. Well, folks, right now we're going to play for you the video to the song Silencer here on the Grumpy Old Man Wrestling Podcast.
When I saw you, was it good?
All right, folks. You just saw the video for Silencer from Lisa Christ Superstar here on the Grumpy Old Man Wrestling Podcast. Now, guys, I want to ask you about another song that's on the new CD as well. A song called Going Under. I know there's a personal story with that, Lisa. I think it's a really good story, and the song itself is pretty good, and especially how you put the video together with that. I don't know. Tell us a little bit about that, if you would, please.
Oh, thank you for asking me. I had the song. We had the song written and done, and that's another song that pretty much wrote itself for me. And it was this time last year. It was the night before Thanksgiving. My dog of 16 years, Harry, died. Our dog died, and I was devastated. My dogs are our dogs and cats are our kids.
Right.
And I don't know what, I just tossed the lyrics aside that I had for that, and I wrote just about the pain that I felt over his loss. And we asked all our fans to send us pictures of animals that they had lost, and we included it in our video as a tribute to them, because I don't think a lot of people realize the grieving process of when you lose a pet like that. Like they're your best friends. I know you love your cats, and they're your best friends. And that's the song.
If we're going to be miserable, so are you.
Right.
Right. Now, I think that was a great tribute to your pet and to everybody, to everybody who owns a pet and
Thank you.
their pets and all that. That
Pets
was
from all over the world in there.
Yeah, we have pets from all over the world in there. We have pets from Amsterdam in there, and Japan.
oh nice.
Yeah.
All right, and I will post a link to that video as well on the bottom underneath the comments, of course. Since we are on a wrestling program, I know you guys have been wrestling fans for a long time. You're based in Philadelphia, and Chris and I constantly talk about shows we've gone to up there recently and back in the day.
Capital of wrestling. You know what I mean? Even back in the day, it was. We used to go to matches down in the arena when they used to run. WWF used to run them there.
Or where the place the Revolution happened.
The Bingo Hall.
Just that the arena was like during the 70s.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Bruno San Martino, S.D. Jones,
You're going way back.
Yeah, way back. So, Executioners.
Oh, God.
For Billy Graham,
Yeah, I remember hearing on several shoot interviews about how Philadelphia would have WWF and NWA go against each other same night. That you'd have WWF at the Spectrum, and then you'd have...
Civic Center here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to the old ECW show?
Road Warriors there, and Abdullah versus Carlitos Carlone.
Oh, my.
God.
They saw some really good matches down there back in the day when I was a kid. So, that's the stuff I remember, The 80s stuff that they used to put on, remember, on Saturdays, and then, they show the superstar, and then they, just beat up some jobber,
Right.
Like a 2-minute match to some dude getting the shit kicked out of him,
Yeah, the best parts of those shows were always the promos for the local shows, though. They were hilarious.
Yeah, of course.
Did you go to the ECW arena when ECW started?
Yeah, I used to hang out in the back with the guys, you know what I mean? Nia Jax used to get me in there all the time, So.
Yeah,
and he had one of the only tattoo shops in town, so they all came in and got tattooed by him.
Wow.
They either went to me or Bodygraph. It's Bodygraph, like Steve, one of the guys that worked for me. He tattooed like Sandman and a couple other guys. But for the most part, most of the other guys, they all came up and saw me. I have like old telephone tapes with like Shane Douglas and Alfonso yelling at us on the phone. We want to go up there and get tattooed, or where are you guys? They're all drunk and screaming at us on the phone. So it was pretty cool back then. Those guys were up there all the time. Jack, we actually did. I don't know. The Feinstein video one where New Jack does a whole shoot.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's one. He's in a tattoo shop, and that's with me.
Oh shit!
I remember seeing that. Okay, that was your shop. That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, that was my original shop. And then I think Devon might have been in that one too. I tattooed Devon's ugly that day as well. There was a bunch, all them guys used to roll through at one point or another,
We probably ran into each other without knowing each other before we knew each other.
Probably. There's probably a good chance. I mean, we used to go to all of us. Plus, my partner was a wrestling manager at the time too. It was the Cosmic Commander of Wrestling.
Oh.
So he did a lot of managing in the early ECW when it was Eastern Championship Wrestling before they changed it to Extreme.
Carlusa was in there.
Snooker was like the big attraction.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, I think I had a few tapes from some of those old episodes.
Yeah, they used to run the shows a lot in the Chestnut Cabaret up in West Philly here. And they had Michael. Remember Mike Schmidt from the Phillies?
Right. Yeah.
Well, he had this big club on Market Street, and I guess they weren't really doing shit with big space there, so they started running some shows out of there as well.
Oh, okay. I think Todd Gordon said that's where their first show was. It was at Mike Smith's. He said it was at Mike Smith's Sports Bar, and I think Sports Channel or something taped it.
Because Todd was right around the corner from there is Jewelers Row, and that's where Todd Gordon's jewelry shop was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it makes sense,
Do you go to the hardcore shows at all?
I used to go to some of the CZW stuff when I was running. Like me and my son used to go down for Tournament of Death every year.
I probably ran into you.
Yeah, some of this, the real brutal stuff,
But he's been to wrestling in Japan.
Big Japan in Japan, FMW in Japan. We went over there to tattoo, and we saw some matches. Even got to hang out at Ribera Steakhouse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Chris's jaw just dropped right now. But
I'm not worthy.
Amazing.
I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
You know what's cool? The one match we saw was it was Abdullah was teaming up with this real big Japanese guy. And, me and my partner, we're just knuckleheads. We're screaming and hollering. The refs are telling us to shut up, Because, the Japanese, they sit there and they're like, oh, yeah, Penny-san, oh, yes. And they're just clapping their hands. And we're screaming and hollering, just being ugly Americans, They're like, kill him, Abby. So, after the match, the promoter, he was like this giant Baba-looking guy. And he brings us back there, and we're hanging out with Abdullah and some of the other guys. I think Iron Mike Sharp was wrestling that day too. It was cool matches, man. It was good to see something like that in Japan. And it's funny because the wrestling fans, the only other thing that's different about them is you look a little bit different. That's it. But they have the same greasy hair. They smell. They greasy hair, fat, and they live in a mom's basement. Same exact thing.
Yeah. Hey, you got the same convention crowd that the Viking Hall people do, huh? There you go.
Exactly. It's worldwide, so.
One question. You said you went to Japan. Did you ever meet Onita?
Onita? No, I've never met Onita. No.
Yeah, going to Japan is definitely on my bucket list. Actually, it was like during the pandemic, I got into watching that Korean baseball when they had it on ESPN, and so they got a travel agency that goes to a trip. They go to a trip to the SEA Games in Korea and Japan, all in 1 weekend. So I might try to do that this coming fall. But yeah, Japan, I envy you for doing that.
And for me, it's Wrestle Kingdom at the Tokyo Dome.
These matches were not at the Tokyo Dome. I guarantee you that. It was in the middle of some field somewhere. It was literally high tension wires all over the place. It was outside. It looked like Godzilla was going to come over there.
I would have made it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I started watching New Japan Wrestling on Access TV when it was on a couple years ago, and I really, really liked it. And now you can't get it. I mean, when the Bull Club was still over there.
Right.
When Kenny Omega was still over there. But now, I don't know, I think you have to get it through their service.
Yes.
So
New Japan World.
I haven't seen it in a long time. But that Icons of Wrestling, that I sent you that link, Jay White's going to be there. So I'm looking forward to that.
Did you go to the arena show where they were just had in Philly?
I'm sorry.
We've been to a bunch of like the House of Hardcores down there.
Yeah, those, and they have some
You-
of the,
And the Icons of Wrestling. We met a lot of people at the Icons of Wrestling.
pictures of, Abdullah, stabbing us in the head with forks and stuff, and
Yeah.
Terry Funk was there, Stan Hansen. I got to hang out with Harley Race right before he died.
Bret Hart, we met Bret Hart. I met Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, she was a total fangirl for him.
Yeah. Alberto, what a really nice thing, which I know he gets a bad rap. We were down at the House of Hardcore, and it was right when Alberto Del Rio got released or whatever, or he got fired, and I'm getting like in line for like a soda or whatever, and I see him like poking his head out backstage, and I was like, oh my god. And I go over because I really like him, and I went over to him. I'm like, do you mind if I get a picture? And at first he was like, oh, I don't want to come out there. And then he pulled me in the back, and he took his picture with me, and he was awesome. You know, he was great. He didn't come out. He didn't let any other fans see him, and I thought that was really cool. But yeah, we love going down to those. They're so awesome, and that it's at the 2300 Arena. It makes it even more special.
Well, a few weeks back they just had a New Japan show there.
Who?
New Japan was at the arena.
A what?
New Japan was at the arena.
Oh, New Japan was at the arena. Did you go to that?
We tried. We hit bad traffic. We had to turn around.
That's what you were telling me about. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think Minoru Suzuki chopped part of 95 and kept us from getting there. It was ridiculous. It was like an accident.
I'd like to get down to Atlantic City and see some of that GCW stuff, though.
They do have some cool cards, though. It's funny you mentioned GCW. It's one place you might be able to see New Japan also. Fight has, like, their syndicated show on there, too, and I think they have, like, some... I don't know if they have any New Japan pay-per-views, per se. I know they have kind of like a weekly show that they... And New Japan Strong.
Well, they got an upcoming show at San Jose, California, so you might try to look around for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Yeah, because I love, like, Will Ospreay is fantastic. Like, he's great. And there's this one other wrestler, Nick Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre.
Zack Sabre, yeah. He's great.
He main evented in Osaka just recently against Shingo.
Oh, really? Yeah, I haven't seen
I
any.
have no idea what you're saying right now.
I have.
Right.
I haven't seen a match in a really long time. You know, so I'm going to have to check that out. A New Japan match. So I'm definitely going to have to check that out.
Okay. Once again, we're with Eric and Lisa from Lisa Christ Superstar here on the Grumpy Old Man Wrestling Podcast. Guys, I want to ask you one more question before we wrap things up. Since you are both talented musicians, as far as walkout music to wrestlers, do you guys have any favorites, or are you basically like, they all suck and we should be playing for them?
My favorite is, baby, Mr. Perfect. That's right.
Yeah, he's Mr. Eric Perfect. He's Mr.
Oh,
Perfect.
yeah. There you go. That's your name. That's...
I'm not good, baby. I'm perfect.
That's right. Walkout music for a wrestler?
Yeah.
I think I'd love War Machine, for them to come out to War Machine.
Dennis,
Off one of our workhorse records, or even Revolution Blood Machine has a great riff. I want to start writing some new stuff for that, and I wanted to actually submit it to, like, AEW, but they probably have their own in-house, their own in-house people. But even if I pick a wrestler that I'm thinking about from GCW or something, I want to try doing that, because I would love for a wrestler to come out to one of our songs.
Okay. Yeah. As they should.
That's a little bucket list thing for me.
Like something heavy with a good solid beat, that kind of sustains for a little while to get them out there. They can run around, shake hands and kiss some babies, and then get in the ring.
Right.
There you go. Hey, Chris.
Like a Nick Gage.
Exactly.
That I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's like Slayer.
Yeah.
Well, he comes out to Metallica, so.
Yeah, well, your merch store, in addition to selling shirts and CDs, you could sell pizza cutters, I guess, if you get stuff for him. I don't know, but that'd be cool. All right, folks, like I said, this Eric and Lisa from Lisa Christ Superstar. I'll definitely thank you for joining us. Where
Remember,
can
if you want to get any of the good stuff, you got www.lisachristsuperstar.com.
Okay, and you can get your CD there, and also you're on Spotify, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, CD, shirts, stickers, and workhorse CDs. And we still have some 11 downloads.
Very cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. We will definitely be listening to your music, and looking forward to more music, and looking forward to seeing you anywhere in the world. So. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right,
I hope you come up for that Icons of Wrestling thing.
I'll text you about that privately off the air, but yeah, I'm definitely. It's on December 18th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll get with you on that after the show, but. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be back with our regular reviews of WWE, AEW, Impact, all of the companies. You're listening to the Grumpy Old Man Wrestling Podcast. We'll be right back. All right, folks, welcome back to the Grumpy Old Man Wrestling Podcast. Here on RDC Multimedia YouTube channel, Rick Crabb and Chris Villito, and we're coming back from a great interview with Lisa and Eric from Lisa Christ Superstar. We spoke to them. If you're catching us late, folks, we interviewed them because they are talented musicians and avid wrestling fans. And the reason I wanted to bring them onto the show, Chris, is one, to find out from them what wrestling walkout music they would like. And that's something I think wrestlers, no matter how young and old, I think, like about wrestling is, especially now when people come out there, and they're just like the wrestlers themselves. There's some songs you really like, some you really hate. So,
you want to go for the ones I really hate?
Well, we can do that too, but I'm looking, okay, I just found my notes, okay. We're going to go through our 5 favorite wrestling themes, and there's a lot of tough choices, but I came up with 5, and you came up with...
Want to alternate?
Yeah, go. Let's hear your
number 5, the original DX theme. I did like it.
Mm-hmm.
I did like it. It was good to come out to. Plus, with the visuals and all that, it worked.
Yeah, especially with the pyro and all that. Yeah, it was.
And the flash screens with the strippers and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
My number 5 takes us to our ECW, since we were talking about Lisa and Eric about shows in Philadelphia. War Machine from Kiss.
Yes.
When Taz came out, especially when he had that raggedy old towel that looks like, I don't know, looks like my cat got a hold of it, and he came out with Team Taz, which were all his bodyguards. And
his students.
Yeah, and we're probably doing this before Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs were even friggin' born.
Yeah.
Okay. That music, especially when he was turning babyface, and it pumped people up.
It was way better than his WWE theme. All you heard was the heartbeat thing.
Although I actually kind of like that, though. Mm-hmm. Especially when that huge poppy guy in that Royal Rumble when he was the mystery opponent for Kurt Angle for that. But okay, that's my number 5.
My number 4 is Edge's current music. He's been using it for the last 10 years.
That's a good choice.
That is a good choice. With Alter Bridge, I love it.
Mm-hmm. I think we actually tried to use that on our first episode, but we got flagged by YouTube. Yeah. So fuck you, YouTube. Number 4, this song's been kind of overplayed, especially in a lot of sporting events, but when this wrestler came out to it back in the day, man, Ender Sandman with the Sandman.
Yeah. It was a giant sing-along.
Especially in the early days when he came out with Woman and then Missy Hyatt. And,
Peaches.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember him doing too much with Peaches. I think he might have had the surfer gimmick then. Yeah. But he didn't start doing that until he turned heel and the drunk cane swinging idiot that we know and love. But
he came out, I just remember back in the day, just coming out to ECW, and everybody was a giant sing-along, and he'd just walk around the arena just either pouring beer... Mishandling pouring beer down his throat or pouring it down somebody else's throat. Or smoke. Or smoking at Paul Mall's.
Right.
My number 3, this is out of left field, and I actually liked it, was Kevin Steen's ROH theme music.
I don't even remember that.
I remember that. I'll send it to you. It's on YouTube. I'll send it to you. It's actually pretty good. I liked it.
I might even put the links to all these songs.
I still remember seeing a couple of our old Orpheus friends at a live event for Ring of Honor. They played his music and they were dancing to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I should have used that one on DJ there. Okay. My number 3 is from one of Lisa's favorite wrestlers when,
Oh, face mask.
Rob Van Dam
Walk.
came out to Walk from Pantera. It's probably one of my favorite all-time favorite bands, I should say.
I've seen them 5 times. Great band. I have no argument there. I really have no argument there.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Bill of Hunter's Motorhead themes.
Good choices. Okay.
Yeah, I loved his theme. I loved it. The King of Kings and the Game.
Right.
Because he was so tight with Lemmy, it was not funny.
I like the game, the first Motorhead theme song. And I don't know, what do you think of Evolution when
It was Motorhead.
Yeah, it was amazing,
it was
right.
Motorhead.
Yeah. My number 2, and you mentioned before about one of the songs you said with DX, you like the visuals, I'm going to go with a Click on the Other Side. The NWO. I mean, the very beginning, when they had that song that they claimed was from a porno movie, but I don't know. I tried doing a few Google searches. I couldn't find it. It sounds like something from a porno, but they had the whole visuals, the whole black and white with the scratchy film and all that, and it's just, I don't know. From the beginning, it was cool. When it was just those 3, it was Hall, Nash, and Hogan. That was cool. Then, when they started adding Virgil and Buff Bagwell and the Disco Inferno, well, DiBiase was cool because when they were doing it at the beginning, it was all ex-WWF people, so it kind of made sense. And plus, his gimmick was supposedly he was a money mark, so
Yeah. My number 1, and we're gonna have a battle about this. You like his new music. I like his old music, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I like the old music because it was creepy, it was slow, and it sounded like something out of a horror movie.
I don't dislike it. I just like the Fiend version better.
More amped up?
Yes.
Okay.
And plus the visuals too. I wasn't a fan of the swamp ass cult leader Bray Wyatt. I liked the Fiend. He looked more like a serial killer. He looked like John Gacy. I liked the fact that he had the 2 personalities. He had the Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt, and then you had the Fiend. So, and once again, Vince doesn't know what to do with good talent. It's like I remember there was a thing that James Spader said in The Blacklist. He said, "You fell on your ass and landed on Christmas." Vince actually kind of did that. That's why he's a billionaire now. After he bought his father's promotion and all that, but he's falling. He may be falling on Christmas, but he's probably yelling at the elves and saying, "You're too short for developmental, pal. Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah. What you say? What was your number 1?
My number 1. Well, this wrestler has so many themes. His character, he reminded me of Batman because there were so many different versions of him, and he just kept surviving and surviving and surviving. And just about any version of this song where you hear those bells, people pop like
crazy.
They do. I remember going to an XFL football game last year, and then for third down to psych up the crowd when, their DC defenders were on defense, they would play those Undertaker bells, and people would jump out of their seat and start cheering and acting the damn fool and start building their beer snakes. But my number 1 is from The Undertaker, and it's not the original Undertaker.
It's not Biker Taker.
It's not the Biker Taker. It's not the Kid Rock or Limp Bizkit bullshit. No. It was the Attitude Era Undertaker. If you remember, if you don't, folks, go into Google, look up
Ministry of Darkness.
Ministry of Darkness, which was supposedly a separate theme, but it was really, basically it was the same theme. But it sounded like something like a lot of these black metal bands would use now, where it's layered with keyboards and violins. It's orchestrated. It's orchestral, but it's also still the Undertaker theme and guitar. It's really, it was really good. I loved
When
it.
I was going through my list, there's 2 honorable mentions, and I wish we had more room for the list. One would have been Aleister Black's music.
Oh, the current music?
The one he used in WWE. I loved that song.
Okay, that was cool.
The Agent Orange song, yeah.
Although I
Code
like the
Orange,
music he has now better, tell you the truth.
And going very old school, what did the Road Warriors come out to?
Oh, Iron Man. Yeah.
Iron Man. When you hear Iron Man, you still hear that. You still feel it every once in a while. The hair rise up in your arms. And you have that memory of the Road Warriors just coming in and beating the shit out of people.
Oh, yeah.
Or this is a third honorable mention: Space Odyssey with Ric Flair.
Oh, Space. Yes. Yeah. Woo. Okay.
Yeah.
The
original Space Odyssey.
Right. I was thinking. Well, actually, I don't think it's actually called Space Odyssey because it was. A lot of people think it is because it was in that
movie. Yeah.
But yeah, that's.
What's your honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions. Let's see. Well, Stone Cold theme, but not so much the original. I liked the one that Disturbed did.
Yes.
That was good.
Freebirds.
Right. Then there's. I like the Daniel Bryan, the Flight of the Valkyries.
The new version or the original in WWE?
I like them both, but I like the original better.
Mm-hmm.
The WWE version better. And then another one that I had, I just forgot what it was called. Oh! And Mussolini! Yeah. I actually like to call the personality.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Okay, yeah, we all both like that. Ruby Soho's growing on me because of Ruby.
Yeah.
What original music? Oh, the Freebirds. You gotta remember Bad Street.
I'm trying to forget Bad Street. I like the song Freebird that they came out with.
Okay, well, Michael, I still remember the music video they put out. And I remember it wasn't on UWF, it wasn't on NWA. You know where they broadcasted it on? AWA.
Right.
When the Freebirds were there, and they had the Freebird Road Warrior feud there.
Right.
Which, if you want to go back on archives, it might be on the network, or you can find it on YouTube. Find those old Road Warrior Freebird matches. They were brutal as fuck.
Oh yeah, especially I remember they had like one in, I think it was Comiskey, say the White Sox Stadium in Chicago.
Comiskey, yeah.
They had a brutal match there, but there's one theme there. I'm surprised neither of us named this.
What?
Dun 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 dun. Fucking
The
Ultimate Warrior. Hell yeah.
Yeah, where he just runs and destroys and leaves.
Yeah, he wears himself out before he gets to the match. That was hilarious.
Blown up.
Oh,
Quote unquote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But,
he's high as a kite, all right. But I know what you mean. He said he was blown up as entire.
Ones I didn't like. I never liked Real American from Hogan.
Yeah.
That was
I think it's because it was played to death because of Hogan.
Well, if you remember correctly, on the album, it wasn't originally going to be for Hogan. Guess who it was originally going to be for?
Oh yeah, it was for Wyndham and Rotunda.
Yeah.
I actually had. I think I still have the cassette of the wrestling album.
Yeah, I had it. Yeah.
And McMahon even said that on there. Yeah.
Honky Tonk Man. I hated it. I absolutely hated it.
I don't know. I kind of liked it. It was all right.
How'd you like when Sting come out for Whom the Bell Tolls?
I remember. Yeah, the only song I remember Metallica did that because WCW tried to have an album with signed bands.
Yeah.
The song I did not like from Sting was that "Man Called Sting." That was cheesier than a fucking Taco Bell gordita.
Was that during the NWA, WCW merging days?
That was probably the early WCW. That was probably like the Bill Hurd era.
That was the Rat Tail Sting, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What were the other ones I didn't like? Believe it or not, I play it. I don't play it as much as I used to. It's the Bullet Club theme.
Okay.
It gets overplayed. It's overused.
I'll tell you what the one theme I hated the damn most.
Right.
It's a toss-up. Doink.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. The first one actually wasn't as bad because the first one they tried to make him a villain they tried to make him like Pennywise.
Yeah.
So they had like that scary music, but
we all float down here, Georgie.
Right. And the other one wasn't even music. Right to censor.
Oh yeah.
That annoying. Yep. Now there's one it's not even music, walk-up music, it's just like walk-up video that a lot of AEW fans hated. I fucking loved. The Librarians.
Oh, yeah.
That was so simple. All you had to do was try to shush these, convention cred fucking assholes in AEW shows, and it just pissed them all off.
Another monument match, and they're using it in AEW, is Christian's old TNA theme. I like it.
It's okay.
It's better than his WWE Christian!
Well, I mean, that music was done to fit. I mean, that's heel music right there. You do that to piss people off. It's kind of like the Mountie theme. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Where the Mounties.
I'll always get our man. Yeah, okay.
But the outside... What promotion has the most memorable music?
Oh.
Right now.
Easily Vince.
Vince?
Yeah.
Because you really can't think outside
a lot of
of...
AEW music.
It's already paid for by somebody else.
Well, they have their original music for some, but it's kind of like, whatever. So,
unless it's Living Color, Rancid.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Jericho's
the original
band.
stuff.
That's a wonder you didn't say Jericho's band.
Oh, Fozzy, yeah.
For Judas.
Kind of like overplayed.
Yeah.
I went and saw them in concert. I paid to see them play that song, but
But like I said, it's the new Sandman song because it's the new sing along.
Yeah.
What's the bigger sing along? Is it that or Cult of Personality right now?
Oh. Ooh, Sandman and
I'm talking about Judas or Cult of Personality in AEW now.
Probably Cult has passed it.
Because I really hear them singing that. Oh, no, better yet, Suzuki's theme, because you can hear that anywhere.
But it hasn't caught on as a sing along. I mean, there are a few fat neck beards that sing along to it and know what it is.
Yeah. And he's the only New Japan theme I like.
Yeah.
That and Naito.
Right. Oh, as far as bad ones, well, Shawn Michaels, I can't fucking stand that
The
one.
sexy boy one?
Yeah. Even though I love Sherry Martel.
The late Sherry Martel.
And most of the fucking Japanese wrestlers that come into AEW, fucking Ryo's music is horrible.
How about Shida?
Shida's isn't too bad. It's still related to it, but it's okay.
Maki Ito?
Maki Ito's was funny because she was singing along with it, but no.
Motherfucker?
Yeah. Stay safe. Have a nice day, shitheads. Bye. No, but Ryo's. It sounds like something if you could imagine Keyboard Cat actually being able to play keyboard. That's what it would sound like. Oh God.
Sounds like the Swedish Chef. But Ring of Honor, other side of Kevin Steen,
Briscoes, they had a good song.
Reach for the sky, boy.
Yeah, it's because they ripped off Pantera, but
You kind of notice they don't use that music anymore. They don't have those flags anymore. Because it's not a good thing to have those flags anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the music I don't think is offensive. Probably people be offended by the flags, though.
With the gunshots on it.
Oh, so what?
Okay, Briscoes is an honorable mention.
Actually, there's one honorable mention from ECW I just thought about, though.
What's that?
Even though it's not a type of music I normally listen to. Natural Born Killers.
Oh, we were there, the football game.
Yeah.
Again, this might be on YouTube, ladies and germs. We were at an ECW arena show. It was the Gangsters versus the Samoan Gangster Party.
Yeah.
And one of them wasn't one of them Rosie?
Yes.
Was Rosie and Samu in total gangster gimmick. And the gangsters brought a shopping cart full of toys. One of them was those old magnetic football games. When New Jack hit one of them, you heard the loudest pop you ever heard in your life. He lost it. I lost it. Wasn't Dutch with us, and he lost it.
I know it was you, me, Bev. It was a bunch of us. Somehow we got front row seats that time.
Yep.
And we were very close to the railing. But one thing I remember about that day was it was the night of a preseason game, which was the first ever Baltimore Ravens game. The first time that they wore Baltimore Ravens uniforms, because previously they had moved out of Cleveland. But yeah, and it was ironic. I was thinking, okay, wow. So even Nia Jax trying to troll me that I'm missing a Ravens game for this.
Even CCW, when you stopped going, I kept on going, they had interesting things because, remember, they had the cult fiction leader, Billy Graham. Mm-hmm. Billy was writing a lot of their music.
Okay.
And if you go to find, I'll send you the video, they even did a cult fiction intro with Slipknot.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what Slipknot song it is, but it sounds like Slipknot. Right. And it's with Deranged and Brain Damage. And if you ever seen what these two motherfuckers can do, oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. But he's the one that did a variation of Hungry Like the Wolf for the late Danny Havoc. I don't know what song it was. He also edited the videos. He did a song for Sammy Callahan. Again, I'll send you it. I don't know who does the song, but I like it. Okay. And he did. He also did the Hate Club when they used to come into Voodoo from Godsmack. Okay. When you think of Voodoo from Godsmack, would that be a good walk-into music?
It works for them. I don't know.
With Nate and Nick.
Yeah.
Then Nick comes out to Metallica's For Whom the Bell Tolls. Right. Is that a good walk?
That's probably better for him then.
Yeah. We were talking about, me and Bev were at an RCW show. Mm-hmm. We were talking about Nick Gage that night, and all of a sudden we hear ding. I was like, no fucking way. Oh. And we hear From the Bell Tolls, and here comes Nick Gage walking towards the ring. I was like, whip Dewey Donovan. I'm like, we're not seeing this, are we? He's in Maryland, right? He can't do all that crap, right?
Right. And he didn't do all that crap.
Yeah, he did. His finisher was the choke breaker. He did the choke breaker and won. I actually talked to Nikki. Nikki was actually pretty cool. Yeah. Who else uses music? Especially in the indies. MCW, I think, uses in-house music now. Yeah. A lot of the indies are trying to use local musicians in-house.
Right. Because they want to put their stuff on YouTube and they don't want to get flagged.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, that's it for me, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good to...
There's so much to choose from. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to pigeonhole them in 5.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Well, folks, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we are going to go through our regular reviews and...
Buckle in. It's going to get rough.
Yeah. Yeah. And Chris and I are going to do some last-minute yard work, even though it's November here in Baltimore. You know, it's fall heading into winter. There's some people we want to get off our fucking lawns.
What did Dennis Leary say? Life's hard. Wear a fucking helmet.
Yeah, tough shit, chew harder. All right, folks, we'll be right back. All right, folks, welcome back to the Grumpy Old Man Wrestling Podcast. Your Crab here with Chris Filato. Thanks again to Lisa and Eric from Lisa Christ Superstar for that great interview. Damn it, I want to see them again. You don't know what you missed. It was basically, folks, we're taping this on a Monday night, and I saw them on the Saturday before, and man, they kicked all kinds of ass.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to go through our reviews. We're going to start with NXT. We'll go through AEW. We'll talk about our indies. And Chris, you and I each have a get off my lawn segment regarding the latest news from McMahon Land. Basically, the Thanos of... Yeah. We're seeing a scroll about they're having tickets now for WrestleMania.
2 nights.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
But basically, the Thanos of professional wrestling, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, snapped his fingers, and then all of a sudden, 18 more wrestlers said, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Snap their fingers, snap their neck.
Yeah.
We can do our show reviews now if you want.
Yeah.
We do.
Start with Nickelodeon NXT, yeah.
Nickelodeon NXT. They were doing basically a promo piece at the beginning, which with Mandy and Toxic Attraction setting up against the return of Katie Kaden Carter, and Ricochet's girlfriend, Casey Catanzaro,
Okay.
and Io Shirai. There's going to be a 6-man on the upcoming NXT. Then we had Dakota Kai destroy the young skater girl, Cora Jade. And it looked like she was hesitant about just putting her through a table, just like she's fighting it within her head.
Right.
So we might have a Psycho Dakota.
Oh, wow. Wasn't that a Talking Head song? No, wait, that's Psycho Killer.
Yeah,
right?
Psycho Killer. No, that's Tommaso Ciampa.
Alright.
Then we had an MSK segment where they're trying to explain where they got the name, and all you hear is a bus going by.
Oh,
So they're still keeping it.
Right.
And then you had Zion Quinn, who's this big island Samoan guy, and a bullshit segment of Robert Stone, and where they're doing theme music songs. Yes.
What are you talking about?
Robert Stone was doing, I forgot what song he was doing, but Zion Quinn was doing Shawn Michaels' theme music, then beat the shit out of Robert Stone.
Oh, jeez, it was.
Yeah. And he beat Robert Stone. Then we had the Joe Gacy segment. Again, I like them poking fun at the woke culture, but he's full blown into it. If you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, he's staying true to his character.
He's being committed. Yeah, he's committed with it. And I don't know about it. Then we had Braun Breaker, a.k.a. Steiner Jr., which against Andre Chase. By the way, if you haven't seen Andre Chase, he's doing the Mr. Perfect / Matt Striker gimmick. I mean, not Mr. Perfect. Shane Douglas / Matt Striker gimmick.
Okay.
Where he's actually wearing the Letterman sweater says "Chase You" on it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and nobody likes him. Breaker beat him. Then we had another member of the Fatu family show up. Solo Sikoa. You could tell he's one of them. He looks
careful, RC Bunker. What do you mean?
No, he looks just like the Usos.
Oh,
he looks just like his older brothers.
Gotcha.
I mean, the same facial features. He looks just like them. You can tell he's a Fatu.
I guess they're rotating him since they're releasing some members of that family too, but we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that in a little bit. And he beat Jeet Rama, we'll get to that in a little bit. Grayson Waller, who's he's the new Daredevil character. He's the new party guy. I don't know what his character is. I don't give a shit.
And you know what? I don't know who almost not all these fucking names are. They have really revamped this, and not in the right way.
We'll get to that with the rant.
Yeah.
Boa from the Tian Sha, which Xia Li was part of,
right, beats
Grayson Waller because of interference by Hagerstown's own L.A. Knight.
Thank God they haven't cut his ass, but in a way I kind of want them to, so he'll go somewhere that can
go back to Impact and be Eli Drake
or AEW. I think
NWA.
Yeah. Oh, he was in NWA. He was awesome there. Then
we had Tommaso Ciampa and Carmelo Hayes. Basically, the head champion and the North American champion saying who's the better champion, yada, yada, yada.
Title versus title thing. Okay.
Yeah. Then we had the Way come out with Johnny and Dexter. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa cross paths and they just look at each other. Are we going to get another series of matches between those two?
Of course you are. That's the WWE way.
Even though last year they said they had one last match and that would have been it.
Ric Flair and Roddy Piper said they retired about 30 times, almost as much as the goddamn Rolling Stones. I mean, you know.
And you had Dexter Loomis, the extra creepy guy, the serial killer guy, and Johnny Gargano lose to Trick and Carmelo Hayes.
Okay.
And it looks like they're building Carmelo into bigger and better.
I was going to say, if they had Carmelo Anthony, that would have been an interesting match. I mean, it would have been better than Cody versus Shaq, but anyway.
Then we get to the night afterwards, which I basically ate motor oil. The night afterwards, we had steak tartare, AEW.
Wait a minute, you said that last time. That's a bad. Say prime rib steak. Steak tartare, you eat fucking raw steak? What the hell's wrong with you?
That's what our friend used to say.
Oh, okay, well.
You forget.
Well, I remember what else he used to say about calling you a culinary special person, but anyway.
What do you think of the Allen Angels Kenny Omega match?
Damn good match.
Are you coming around to Omega?
I still think he's overrated, but they did the right thing with him with this match. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a champion. You should let him
Yeah.
squash a dark and elevation guy.
Now we have the Punk segment where he talks about Jon Moxley, and I'm glad they're not hiding it.
Yes.
I'm glad they... you want to talk about the Moxley situation real quick?
Oh, yeah. Jon Moxley's basically...
In rehab.
Yeah, he turned himself in. He's trying to get some help, and definitely we want to help him encouragement. And a lot of the wrestlers on this show did that through different parts of Dynamite to...
In social media.
Yeah.
I like what Punk said. This is the bravest thing he's ever done.
Of course, you remember with Punk, too. I mean, he has a history of having members of his family who are alcoholic.
Yeah.
He had that whole straight edge storyline with Jericho where Jericho was trying to get him to drink and all that.
Well, also with Hardy. With Jeff Hardy. Remember that feud? Where he kept on saying Jeff Hardy's an addict?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true.
I'm a son of an alcoholic, and I know I probably know better than anybody what Renee's going through.
Yeah.
And they just moved back to Cincinnati. They're no longer in Vegas. They moved back.
Well,
to
they did
Cincinnati.
actually say alcohol. It could be. I mean, a lot of those wrestlers are addicted to painkillers.
But every picture you see backstage with Moxley, he's always got a bottle of booze in his hand.
Oh, that don't mean anything.
That don't mean anything, yeah. But I like the Punk segment. What did you think of Punk? Punk's the master wordsmith right now.
He's one of them, and we'll get to that for Friday.
Oh, yeah.
He is one of them.
Yes.
But
Then we get to the Miro segment. And what did you think of Miro's promo at the beginning?
when he announced he's going to be beating the shit out of Pockets,
Yeah.
okay, that part I liked. Yeah.
And he says, what he said about God, it says, maybe I should make God fear me or some shit like that.
He's gone overboard with that, but yeah, I mean, he's a heel. He's doing what heels do. So yeah.
I'm going to skip over the Elite. Then again, what do you think of the Elite Jurassic Express Christian segment backstage, where they basically gave him a fucking concerto?
Yeah, they gave Adam Cole the concerto. Yeah. Baby right onto the ramp. Yep.
Yeah, he's seeing baby all right.
Yeah. Trying to say stop ringing that bell, baby. You know.
But
and I'm sure Dr. Baker kissed and made it all feel better.
then afterwards, what do you think of FTR coming out to the variation of the Midnight Express theme?
I thought that was interesting, and their tights were kind of, if you look at them, they kind of look like...
They're paying tribute to Bobby. Against Aerostar and the former Callisto, Samurai del Sol.
Yep.
What'd you think?
It looked like a party for the FTR.
Yeah, it was a great match.
Yeah.
Sheeta and Rose segment in backstage. Again, this is a lot of backstage segment stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
Well, that was the one where...
They beat up Sheeta, kind of.
Oh, yeah. It's whatever. I mean, it's another...
The next segment, I'm not looking forward to this match at Full Gear because it's just faction versus faction. It's America Top Team and the Inner Circle. Even though the promo work is great, I'm not looking forward to the match.
The only selling point for that is...
Dan Lambert.
And you know there's going to be a screw job with that. Somehow he's going to get out and...
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that's a good matchup with those two. I mean, I'm a fan of Jericho's. I mean, you know, I included him on one of our videos, okay? But,
I heard you like he's having everybody calling him fat-faced dipshit.
Well, he's not wrong.
And the next backstage segment with the best wrestling bitch made if I ever saw Dante Martin. He looks like he does not want to be there at all.
Well, either that or he's feeling really good, one or the other. But
him, Leo Rush, Matt Sydal, Lee Moriarty. Not a bad segment.
Yeah, I mean, it's setting up. I think it sets up for a good. That'll be a good high-flying tag team match.
Yeah. The next is the TBS tournament match. Hayter versus Anna Jay. What'd you think?
Thank you, Mr. Cameraman. For the hose belt we're talking about, right?
Yeah, for the TBS belt. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know that. I don't know. Basically, I mean, Hayter, she's basically the female Wardlow right now. So, I mean,
you kind of know she doesn't do the DMD thing that the other two do.
You said that. I didn't really notice that, but I mean, it's like, I don't know.
Speaking of...
I'm not reading anything into that. I think it's just that she's kind of like shy, and it's like, okay, Baker is the Mike Smith, let her do the talking, you know. And,
there was another thing. I think either today or yesterday was Shivani's birthday, this being the 8th of October.
Yeah.
Adam Cole went to Twitter and says, I hope you have a shitty birthday.
Probably the three of them are probably working out a promo. Probably Shivani's probably telling them stuff to say, you know.
Well, if you remember about a month or so ago, they had Shivani's son in the ring, so he might be retraining.
Yeah.
The Jade segment was generic. It was Jade Cargill.
Well, here's my thing with that. It's like, and we'll get...
She's cookie cutter to me.
No, I think she's a good talent. It's not that. It's just, well, I had an even more problem with this on Friday. The whole thing is supposedly her and Red Velvet supposedly hate each other. But if you watch that stupid Rose reality show, they're besties. They're always sitting next to each other. Yep. They went to a wine tasting together and all this other bullshit. It's like...
Triple H said back then when Gene Okerlund had that late night news show back in the early 2000s. He even played the Lex Luger 911 tape on it.
Yeah.
Hunter hated that show.
Oh, Confidential?
Confidential, and he hated reality shows like that because he hated peeling back the curtain.
Right, yeah.
Then we had MJF Gold again. MJF Gold and Darby.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what was MJF's big moment. And the brawl. The brawl was awesome. What
was funny about that was he came out with Wardlow and Shawn Spears. Yeah. And they played, like, the Sting music, and then they trolled the crowd, like, you dumb bastards, you know. And then the lights went out again, it's like, all right, Shawn, that's funny. He said, I didn't do it this time. And then that's when Sting, and then that's when Inspector Gadget came, and they fought, and yeah.
What did you think of Andrade Cody?
I think I was to my second or third beer.
And it was really good. Andrade's a hidden treasure.
Wrestling wise, yeah, but he needs a mouthpiece. I'm sorry.
Well, if she didn't re-sign to WWE, she would have gotten Selena.
Yeah, well, he's probably waiting for somebody else from WWE. Woo!
Yeah. What did you think of the John Silver segment, especially where he made fun of the whole Adam Cole being a manager thing?
Yeah, I think, is that where the buds came in? I didn't understand. Okay.
We're going to cut your hair. We're going to cut your hair. We're going to do all this stuff for you, and we're going to change your name.
Oh, jeez.
He said that. I was like, oh my god. And then the match that probably wouldn't keep you from stop smiling was Miro and Pockets.
Hey, yeah.
And I bet I could actually, when I say you messenger, I bet you I could hear you grinning ear to ear.
Yeah. This is true.
Like I said, it was, again, better than what we saw while we were taping this show. Mm-hmm. Better than NXT. Right. Better than anything. Now, I'm going to get to Impact because, like I said, I'm trying to keep it as... They had a three-way.
Right. Hey,
X Division match for a number one contender. Actually, a four-way for a number one contender against Trey Miguel for the X Division title.
Right.
Steve Maclin, who was the former Steve Cutler in Forgotten Sons. Mm-hmm. Rohit Raju. Black Taurus.
Okay.
Laredo Kid. Laredo Kid you've seen.
Right.
Laredo Kid is going to be facing Trey Miguel at the upcoming Turning Point studio special.
Okay.
Then we had the in-ring return of Eric Young. He's been battling a leg injury.
And Trish.
Yeah, right. You told me about that. He took on one of the young jobbers named Jay Vidal and gave him a powerbomb and a pile driver.
Wow.
Then, I'm kind of, even though I don't like the spooky bullshit sometimes, they're doing it with the inspiration and decay.
Right.
Remember how they did with Shayna Baszler and the doll with the mirrors in the room and all that?
Yeah.
They were doing that with Decay.
Okay.
Where Cassie seen Decay in the mirror, they turn around, they're not in the room.
Okay.
They leave the room and there's something written on the mirror. You know what's written? Turning Point. They're getting the rematch at Turning Point.
Okay.
And I'll take it down to the segment down the road. Inspiration was actually went up to Johnny's. I think they went up to Johnny Swinger or somebody, and they said, no, they went to Gia Miller, the interview girl. And says, how do you fight Havoc and Jessica? And she said, well, to get Spooky, you got to meet Spooky with Spooky. So they got to try to find the Undead Brides.
Oh, geez.
And they found Kimberly and Brandy Lauren. And apparently that's going to be the match for upcoming Impact. It's going to be Decay versus the Undead Bridesmaids. And the Inspiration are going to be in the corner of the Bridesmaids.
Interesting. Okay.
Then we had a no contest between the Good Brothers and Finn Juice because the Bullet Club ran in. With the three members that are there. That big Tongan bitch. Thomas' brother. I forgot who he is. And Chris Bay and... who was the third member there? And El Fantasma. So that was it. Swinger's trying to get the money together to buy another casino. He wants to rebuild Swinger's Palace. So apparently they have nothing to do with Swinger, but he's comedy guy. He's the comedy guy now.
Okay.
And how they dragged Hernandez in this match, I don't know. Then we had a Knockouts tag title match. Mickie James defending against Madison Rayne. Do you remember Madison Rayne?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Don't look like I'm like Ryan. But Mickie James retains. And then we have a in-the-ring segment, promo segment between Mickie James and Mercedes Martinez. That is also Turning Point.
Okay.
So we got 3 matches at Turning Point. That's the only matches that I know so far. It's better booked than the Survivor Series right now. Then we had Madman Fulton versus Chris Sabin. Sabin beat the Monster. Then the main event was Josh Alexander, the now former world champion. He only held that belt literally for 5 minutes.
All right.
Eddie Edwards and the former Matt Cardona, the former Zack Ryder, against Moose, the world champion, W. Morrissey, former Big Cass, and Murder Grandpa. And the only time I paid attention to this match is watching Suzuki beat the shit out of people.
Oh, okay.
Team Grandpa wins.
All right.
You say you want to go buy this?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I watched maybe like 5 minutes of SmackDown, but I was just so disgusted about what we're going to be getting off of our lawn.
Especially the main event. The loser had to bend the knee.
That was stupid.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. Like I said, we'll get to what. Okay, what was better the past week, Rampage or Dynamite?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's your Sophie's choice right there.
Maybe. Well, I don't know. Maybe Rampage only because there was more of it. Okay, but
yeah, it was Rampage.
I mean, Dynamite because there was more of it, but Rampage, well...
It's more condensed and more action. They said it's the fastest 60 minutes in wrestling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely quality as opposed to quantity. I mean, it's kind of like eating like Lynn's chocolates, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A small piece of the chocolate and caramel, but goddamn, they're awesome.
First match we had Bryan Danielson versus Anthony Bowens. What do you think of Max Caster's rap about John Laurinaitis?
Hilarious.
It was great.
I think even Bryan Danielson was laughing about it.
Yeah.
He might have even given him that.
It's like, what was the line? What was the line?
It was something about his father-in-law costing wrestlers 2 careers or something.
Yeah, faster than your father-in-law.
Yeah.
What did you think of the FTR Andrade, what was it, exchanging of money segment backstage?
That was probably like the low point of it. It's like, alright, whatever. Yeah.
Then we get to the promo of the night. You talk about this.
Let me tell you something about this. We've complained on this show a bunch of times about how WWE is too much talking and not enough matches. And we praise AEW for starting off with matches and having very little promo segments. That promo segment between Punk and Kingston, I wish they could have
shot
made
on each other, basically.
They could have made the whole show would have been happy.
Missy Hyatt went on Twitter and says, that's how you're supposed to do a promo. That's how you're supposed to bring people to the pay-per-view.
And, you know, we said last week where we could hear, like, certain matches, Jim Cornette's head exploding.
Yeah.
This time I think I heard him have an orgasm. He showered this with praise.
It's already, the review's already out?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got to hear it myself.
He said
listen to it on the way
it was perfect. It was unscripted. And they kept it simple.
Unscripted, and they were fading in and out of shoot. And when he mentioned Samoa Joe, Homicide, Red, I was
yeah.
And they didn't mention Ring of Honor at all.
Well, actually, no. I think Kingston did. I think he did actually say Ring of Honor.
And when Punk called him a bum, I was like, oh, god damn, man. It was like, damn.
Oh, well, it reminded me a few weeks ago of the Baker versus Ruby Soho promo.
Well, the whole promo, yeah.
I mean, where they had great digs at each other. But what killed me was Kingston, you know, Kingston had the best word at the end, though.
What?
When he said, nobody in the locker room likes you, why don't you go, why don't you quit for another 7 years?
Yeah, I saw that. That's when the fists start flying.
Yeah, the headbutt and the fists and...
Yeah, and everything. I mean, the locker room, anything that could be nailed down was trying to separate those two. It was a great segment. Again, that may be interested for the pay-per-view. That bought you, for the casual fan, that will bring you in for the pay-per-view.
And for all of the praise and the people crying and throwing babies and the mosh pits and everything they had for CM Punk, you can see people are tiring of this shit already. And Eddie Kingston's promo got him some fans. So I mean, I think I saw on one of the YouTube shows they compared it to, basically, they're saying that Punk is now their Cena.
And we'll see at Full Gear. We'll see at Full Gear. See what happens at Full Gear. See who gets bigger pop.
Right.
Because I'm a Kingston fan.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a fan of his style because he's more of a. What did they say on Dynamite or Rampage? It says he's more of an All Japan brawler style.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, his wrestling is. I mean, he's a brawler and he's a good promo.
You can see him keeping up with Masawa back in the day, right?
And never mind Masawa.
Kabashi with those chops.
I mean, if you're talking about back in the day, forget about anything Japanese, man. He was just born too late and into the business too late. Even though we've seen him in CZW in Philadelphia, how do you think he would have fit in that ECW locker room back in the?
Oh, him against Sandman, him against New Jack, him against Dreamer.
Any of those promos, and can you imagine him with Paul Heyman giving him, working with him with promo? Jeez whiz.
Like I said, this is a great promo. This is an overly, heavily scripted promo that we see from the other guys.
Those guys are both smart and quick-witted. He probably just had, they probably went over, some, basically some speaking points. Kind of like if you're giving, a public speech or a debate or something.
Yeah.
He just went off, and that's what wrestlers used to do back in the day.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the next segment was the Red Velvet versus Bunny match. Mm-hmm. What'd you think?
It reminds me of Days Alone here, eating a cake and a cuddly pet.
Yeah.
In this case, instead of my cat, it's a bunny.
It's a bunny. Good match.
Yeah, you're a lucky
match. It was a good match. Even though she's going to get this is not a prediction, it's a spoiler, she's going to get devoured by Jade Cargill.
Well, and that's what I was alluding to before. Yeah. The whole thing, it's like they're trash talking, and it's kind of like, oh, come on.
Rebel Wilson looks good without the weight.
Yeah, well, yeah, she does, but I mean, the whole thing is supposed to be a blood feud between Cargill and Velvet, and truth is, it was like, now they're friends now because it's like, Brandy's like, all right, Velvet told me you were too stiff on her, she's scared to get in the ring with you, and all this other bullshit,
What did you think of the Adam Cole-John Silver match, and how Adam Cole was kind of like playing the head injury thing?
Interesting. It's good storytelling.
That's what they believe. They believe in storytelling. Great storytelling.
Yeah.
What the hell? Oh, this is one of the Indian dudes. Silver, I love John Silver. I loved him in CCW when him and I told you what their tag team name was in CCW. It was the Beaver Boys.
Okay.
And Silver went on to be CZW World Champion. He was they called him the Meat Man. For some strange reason. They called him the Meat Man. I don't understand why about that.
I don't think I want to understand why, but anyway.
Now, I'm going to get to the Power... I'll make this real quick. I'll get to New Japan Power Struggle. I watched that over the weekend.
All right.
Suzuki-gun, there was a lot of title changes on this thing.
Right.
Suzuki-gun members of Kanemaru and Dookie. Dookie comes out with a steel pipe, just starts hammering the railing with it the entire time.
Is that How I Met Your Mother? Oh no, that's another old Dookie play.
Yeah. They beat up two young lions. That's the opener match, basically. Right?
Okay.
Then we had Tamaloa, Jado and Gato together. Remember those two?
Did they tag against Heckle and Jekyll, or I mean
against Tiger Mask, Hama, and Togi Makabe. Makabe is the Unchained Gorilla. And apparently, the Bullet Club wins. LOL.
Alright.
Then we have Yuji Nagata, the Coach Taguchi, and Masawato. They give him he has a martial arts gimmick.
Okay.
And it looks like he's just came from the mountain, from a Buddhist temple type deal. Against LIJ members, Himuro Takahashi, Bushi, and Sonata. Of course, LIJ wins. This match I didn't skip over. Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, and Tomohiro Ishii have the never open weight 6-man titles. Never open weight means any weight class can go after them.
Okay.
They took on Sho, Yojiro Takahashi, and Evil. They're now from the Bullet Club. They're calling themselves the House of Torture. We have new champions.
Oh wow, okay.
The House of Torture are new tag team 6-man tag champs.
House of Torture, I thought that was Titan Towers, but
we'll get to that in a little bit. Then we had the gimmick match of the night. The KOPW, it's like a little bowling trophy with a ring on top of it.
Yeah.
It's a gimmick match title.
All right.
They had, you could vote online by the Japanese fans. You could have, I forgot what the hardcore stipulation Great O'Khan wanted to go after. The other one was amateur rules. Collegiate amateur rules.
Oh boy.
That one, Toru Yano is still champion. They both came out in college wrestling gear. I skipped a lot through this match. I didn't care for it. Another match was Robbie Eagles defending the junior heavyweight title against El Desperado. Suzuki-gun, El Desperado gets the title. Great match. Hiroshi Tanahashi put the U.S. title on the line against Kenta. We have a new Bullet Club member as U.S. champion now.
Okay.
And the Kenta promo afterwards, in English, he called out CM Punk.
Right.
Would you want to see the battle of Go to Sleep?
Of course.
Good. Then we had Okada putting the briefcase on the line. Against Tama Tonga.
Okay.
Tama, it's no longer a briefcase. It's no longer a title shot like it is for Money in the Bank. I know.
Yeah.
It is now. He's got the original IWGP belt.
Okay.
I think they're using it instead of a briefcase now. He put that title shot on the line against Tama Tonga. Okada wins in a great match.
Jeez.
Again, it's Okada. Why does that look like Moose?
Yeah.
And then we had Shingo Takagi putting the world title on the line against Zack Sabre Jr.
Okay.
Great match. Fantastic. I'll watch Zack Sabre matches all day long.
I think you and Lisa, according to that interview we had, or actually what we...
Zack is a wizard. He's a technical wizard. That man has submission moves I have never seen before. Shingo wins the title belt. Keeps the title belt. And it was actually a really good match. Really good match. They went 35 minutes. And then we had the face-off between Shingo and Okada. Which sets up Wrestle Kingdom. Night 1 of Wrestle Kingdom, January 4th, will be the main event of Shingo Takagi putting the world title on the line against Kazuchika Okada. Now, I want to get to... I don't have the card in front of me right now, but New Japan the upcoming show coming up in San Jose. They're not waiting 2 weeks for quarantine. Okada's going to be there. Okada, this might be fun.
Yeah, looks like
Dominic Mysterio's going to shit himself.
Yeah, there was a mystery opponent for Dominic. Augie Doggie's going to get squashed by
the Destroyer.
Yeah.
The Walking Armageddon, Bobby Lashley.
Donald Trump's favorite wrestler, if you remember that.
Yeah. Okada will be facing the former Buddy Murphy. Would you want to see that?
Yeah, I guess.
Then we have the match I remember. The Never Open Weight title, which Jay White has, will be taking on his last title opportunity if he loses. No more title against Tomohiro Ishii, the Stone Pitbull. Which I really want to see because I'm a big fan of Ishii. He's Suzuki-like.
Right. We're going. If they come back to Philly, we're going in separate cars.
Yeah, you'll go. Just save me a spot.
Yeah.
But like I said, the San Jose show's basically the same as Full Gear.
All right.
If you had your choice, which one would you watch? The San Jose show from New Japan or Full Gear? Knowing they're both going to be great cards.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, Full Gear.
Full Gear. Sorry. We'll talk about Full Gear.
There are a lot of people who probably disagree with me, the New Japan marks, but no, I'm sorry.
But Full Gear, going to Full Gear, what match are you looking forward to the most? This thing's stacked.
I'll be honest.
It's a 3-headed monster for me. A 4-headed monster for me.
After that damn promo, Punk versus Kingston.
That's one of them.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't want to see the faction versus faction inner circle
I'm
top
crazy about that either, really.
Bucks and Adam versus Jurassic and Christian. Not crazy about that either.
Yeah, it'd be black comedy bullshit.
Conte and Baker might be fun to watch.
Yeah, but I mean, I doubt she's gonna drop the belt.
Yeah, not right now. Miro, Danielson. They're gonna kick each other's heads in.
That'll look like Superman versus Doomsday.
Yeah, basically it is. We're seeing the Miro that we want.
Right.
Against a Danielson we want.
Mm-hmm. Oh! What about MJF and Darby?
That may be fun too. The Pillars.
Mm-hmm.
I love MJF, but Darby is just something special right now.
Yeah.
And the main event of Kenny versus Adam. Sandman Page, you call him.
I hope that they keep the screwy bullshit to a minimum, but the petites can't help themselves with that shit, and,
Well, Dark Order's going to involve too, so. Now, do you want to get to the rants?
Absolutely, you first.
Or as Horshack used to say, ahem.
Alright.
We heard on WrestleVotes, we read on, you follow WrestleVotes on Twitter, right?
Sometimes I don't.
They're 99.9% accurate and reliable. They said we're taping this on Monday the 8th. On Friday the 5th, that morning, there was going to be a small number of releases being named. We didn't know it was going to be 18?
18.
Okay.
And I heard there may be even more.
More, yeah, coming down the pike.
And probably by the time this show goes on the air, it probably will be more.
Okay. BFAB. You just brought her up from Hit Row. The chick with Hit Row. They got rid of her. Okay? And if you notice something, they took out, and I heard this about on Wrestle Talk, they took out her chorus out of the theme music.
I heard that.
They watered down the music. Remember the last show, there's 2 shows before us, we said they haven't fidgeted around with the gimmick yet? We cursed them.
Yeah.
We cursed them. We got that. The one that glares at me, and because of the new rule they have for NXT, was the now known Taya Valkyrie Frankie Monet, and basically told her that she's too old to be there, and she's 38 years old. And now they're saying they don't want to hire nobody, basically nobody who's come through the indies. They want to train them themselves, which I want to ask you in this rant. How many homegrown talent have you seen it grow big at that performance center? If any.
About as many as came out of Grumpy Central.
Bray and maybe Charlotte. That's it. Everybody else came through the indies.
Okay, that's 2 more than I thought. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Everybody else came through the indies. I mean, Sasha came through the indies. Bailey and Becky probably came through Shimmer. I mean, Natty went through Shimmer before she got signed. I'm afraid that they're getting her because she's 39. But they're keeping Shayna Baszler, who's 40, and Tamina Snuka, who she might be on her way out at 44. Okay. The other release was Ember Moon. She's only 33. That's another. I realized that she tore her Achilles. It took her a year to heal. They brought her back. They put her with Shotzi. They won the tag titles. That NXT. They lose the tag titles, and she disappears. And they move Shotzi up. Okay, and we'll get to Shotzi in a little bit. Oh God, where can I begin with the names? Mia Yim. I hung out, I know Stephanie, that's her real name. I know Stephanie real well. I actually hung out with Stephanie backstage at Ring of Honor show. She's cool as shit, very down to earth. Good kid. I've seen her do crazy ladder matches in CCW against guys. Okay? Another one that blew my mind was Scarlett. And there's, we might as well do with the significant others, Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. That's another thing. Yeah, they tweaked their gimmicks. And apparently, they don't get them. And did you see what Karrion Kross said about the Gimp mask? On Twitter, he says that nobody likes that fucking shit.
Right.
And the cryptic videos he's been putting on Twitter are fucking awesome. We're going to see the return of Killer Kross.
Okay.
Scarlett is already teasing doing an OnlyFans. And we're going to see the return of the Smoke Show, like she was in Impact. So, there's speculation a lot. As soon as these names came out, everybody's doing fantasy booking.
Right.
What were the other names offhand? We did Keith Lee, who they said had attitude problems. No, Vince didn't know what the fuck to do with him.
Oh, what about, you didn't mention that that'll be what part of my Get Off My Lawn segment is.
Oh, Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Nia Jax. What were the other main roster guys they got rid of?
It was mostly NXT people, but like the biggest names were like her and Keith Lee.
Keith Lee,
Taya Valkyrie, whatever her name is now.
Frankie Monet now. Yeah. She's gone back to Taya Valkyrie, who is John Morrison's wife, and I pretty much can tell you he's probably going to be on. He's on the chopping block too. Would you like to see him back as Johnny Impact and tearing up Impact like he was, or Johnny Mundo down in AAA? He is a great talent.
Right.
Okay. Vince, you're an inconsiderate prick. Okay? You said budget cuts. All I'm hearing is budget cuts. You recorded, this is the day after. It's like, this is the same day they did the quarterly stockholders conference call. They made $256 million profit. This quarter. Budget cuts, they're full of shit. They're full of fucking shit. He's a greedy old prick. Oh, God, Jesus Christ. I don't want him to go away. I just want him done. Gone.
Well, he will once they sell that company. It'll probably be to the Cock, or to Disney, or to Saudi Arabia.
You saw what I said on Facebook that day. They're downselling. They're downsizing for a sale. They are selling. You saw the list of names from the last 2 years. It's like almost 80 names. They got rid of half the roster. They bloated it up just because they're in fear of AEW. Now they don't fear AEW anymore.
Well, they're probably think that Tony, probably what you've been saying, and that Ruckus told you, he thinks that he wants Tony Khan to buy everybody up to buy himself broke.
Tony said in an interview, I think, with the Torch, basically saying he's interested in some names, not all. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what name he's going to talk about is Keith Lee.
Right.
Keith Lee as All Elite be awesome. Do you think Mia would go there or go back to Impact?
Say this again.
Mia Yim, do you think she'll go back to Impact or join Keith Lee in AEW?
It's hard to say. She'll probably follow wherever he goes.
Or like Cross, where you think he'll go back to Impact to be the monster that he can be the big monster in a small pond.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think AEW is getting too crowded. At least as far as male talent. I think they need more women, to be honest with you. And more tag teams. But
yes. But Mia Yim, Scarlett. I've seen Scarlett work in the ring. She's improved immensely.
Yeah.
She's for MCW, a former Rage TV champion. She did it with a Canadian Destroyer on a man. Yeah. You see Scarlett coming back to Impact because they can't go to Ring of Honor anymore.
Yeah. Well, we don't know that for sure.
Taya's going to go back. You know that for a fact. Which I still remember when they had the whole Johnny Bravo fucking bullshit with the Who Shot Johnny Bravo. They said Taya to Tommy Dreamer said Connecticut Supermax.
Yeah.
Which, if you go by the videos that Aleister Black or Malachi Black, Buddy Murphy, and even Ruby Soho put out saying they're getting out of jail. This is jail.
I think it's more like an insane asylum instead of jail.
This is Arkham.
Yep.
This is fucking Arkham. I mean, this is like you. We grew up on this. I became a fan because of what his father did.
Yeah.
What Vince's father did. I started watching it when Bob Backlund was in the middle of Bob Backlund's reign. Right, 2 years left of Bob Backlund's reign before the Iron Sheik beat him, or so-called beat him.
Right.
In the beginning of Hulkamania. Then watching the NWA, I became a fan. This is not making me a fan anymore.
Yeah.
This is so contrived, so predictable. And again, it goes back to the pipe bomb that Punk said about him surrounded by yes men. You got Pritchard, Laurinaitis, and Khan going down to the Performance Center looking at people going, that's what Vince likes. That's what we think Vince likes. Right?
Yep.
And now they have another rule there. You got 90 days to improve or you're gone. Okay?
Define improving that.
Improving in-ring skills and shit.
Yeah, but I mean...
Again, if you're bringing 25 years and younger, we talked to our friend John. I talked to our friend John. He basically wants these girls to come in to be molded into their image. That's basically what it is. He wants to bring young, impressionable minds to be molded into their... Speaking of molding. Yeah. Molded into their image.
Yeah.
So, you agree?
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, it's... The product is absolute crap. I mean, what they're doing to the wrestlers, I don't agree with. And what they're having the wrestlers, they are keeping doing now, just like what we're watching now with Seth Rollins in his runway jacket talking to wannabe Kurt Angle and Assam. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Poor Mandy Rose. Had to put her in that angle with him a year ago. But
Mickie James, Mickie James brought up a lot of things about ageism. LuFisto did a beautiful tweet on Twitter saying she's 41 years old. She can still go.
Right.
And she can do a lot of stuff still. And she didn't want to put her age out there, but she did. And they're talking about ageism in the business. Ageism exists in every facet of life when it comes to women. If you think so. If you think about it. It does. And it's different for people our age because it hits men our age now. Do you think they're wrong for calling Vince out and being an ageist?
Definitely. And for another reason, too. I mean, how many...
He's a sexist pig, too.
well, not just that, but I mean just male or female as far as the ageism goes. I mean, 35. I mean, they've always said usually wrestlers don't hit their prime until they're 35.
Yeah. Well, what was the other thing? Another edict about the guys: no guys over 30, no small guys. They want giants.
Now, what I'm confused about is this for the hiring for NXT or for all of them?
For NXT right now, to be trained.
Right. Okay.
And I feel sorry for Sarah. Sarah Del Rey is their head trainer down there, and they're probably going to give her nothing but shit to deal with.
Right.
And these idiots who probably are greenhorns. You're going to see a lot of green in NXT, and they're probably going to be forced on television soon.
Right. And it'll probably be a bunch of accidents. And what we'll probably get, Chris, will probably be like their writing staff. They'll get people from outside of wrestling.
Yes.
I can see this now. He's going to probably be like, he'll be looking at like track athletes. He'll be looking at women's soccer players. He'll be looking at everything except for actual wrestlers.
Well, Casey whatever her name, Ricochet's girlfriend, they got her from American Ninja Warrior. They got her from American Ninja Warrior. She can do parkour.
Well, I mean, like Vincent, your 24/7 champion.
Oh, Reggie, yeah.
Or I mean, Reggie, rather. He got him from goddamn Cirque du Soleil.
Yep.
Okay.
Because Vince likes that shit. They're doing things to appease a 76-year-old prick. I'm calling you a prick.
I think he's older than that, actually.
You are a prick. You're an old prick. Go away and die.
And where do you want that old prick to go, Chris?
Die.
No, where do you want him to go? Where do you want him to get off of?
My lawn, damn it, and go to hell.
All right. Thank you very much. Now it's my turn. One of the cuts that we mentioned, Miss Nia Jax. This lummox, first of all, should be hired by Utz Potatoes or Weiss or Frito-Lay for as many times as she potatoes women like a third of her fucking size, okay? That's one thing. You knew right then and there. I mean, there have been allegations that she's not very careful with the ladies that she's in the ring with. The fact... Now, there were allegations as far as why she was one of the people released. And it was originally mentioned it was because of her vaccination status, or lack thereof. Choosing not to be vaccinated.
She was openly unvaccinated, she said.
You said she was vaccinated?
Openly unvaccinated.
Openly unvaccinated, okay. Well, alright, granted, she later denied that was why they released her. They think she was released because she wanted to take off too much time basically for mental days or whatever, just for mental health. Alright, well, I would believe that you are suffering from mental health, Nia Jax, because you are a selfish bitch. Okay? I know people are divided on this inside and outside of wrestling as far as vaccinations. Alright? All I'm going to say is, if you don't trust the government or the vaccines or anything like that, if you're not sure, speak to somebody who knows what the hell they're talking about. Talk to a doctor, talk to a nurse, talk to somebody who actually has medical training. Not some dipshit from fucking Breitbart or Rush Limbaugh or Donald Trump or any right-wing nut, okay? I'm sorry. If you don't want to... The only arguments I hear about this, Chris, are people saying, well, it's my freedoms. It's my germs. I don't trust... Now, Aaron Rodgers is basically being called to task about this because he lied. And never mind what your opinion of as far as the vaccine itself, he violated several rules of the NFL regarding this. And he should be punished. And I'm pissed at him because he's my fantasy football quarterback. I'm not going to lie. All right.
Yeah, you're pissed.
But...
Costing you points.
But, that being said, alright, if you don't care about your own damn self, get it for somebody else. My mother died last year. I was taking care of her for 3 years because she had multiple sclerosis and was bedridden. I got it so I could take care of her and not give her the goddamn disease. I mean, if you don't care about yourself, you should care about other people. Her cousin was current Universal Champion, had leukemia. he actually took time off because of
The peak of the pandemic.
at the peak of the pandemic. Bitch, you could have got your fucking cousin sick with COVID, you selfish. I hope to God AEW, Impact, I hope she tags with Tessa Blanchard and fucking Nuclear. Because I swear to God, I do not want to see her in a ring. And if I do, I want to see, like, I want to see Suzuki come out and drag like Ronnie Garvin used to. Shit out of him.
Yeah.
I swear to God. Fuck you, Nia Jax, get the fuck off my lawn, you.
And at the tag of this, before somebody starts calling you libtard or all that, you're a registered Republican, right?
I used to be I'm actually unregistered. I'm not registered with either party, but I have voted Republican in the past.
And before anybody says, well, he's a libtard, he's doing all this and this. Okay? I've been around you all my life. I know your views in life, okay?
Right.
You know me all my life. You know my views in life. We pretty much keep it to ourselves.
Life is too short for partisan politics. Okay?
Thank you.
If you're too far to the left or too far to the right, you're either going to drown in an ocean or fall off a fucking cliff, and I hope you do!
Thank you.
You know, you can be liberal without being a libtard. You can be conservative without being a Trump pansy, okay? But that's the problem. It's empty barrels making a lot of noises, and you probably have more empty barrels on the internet than, like, all of Jack Daniels' warehouses, okay? I mean,
I call it tribal warfare, and we resorted to tribal warfare.
Right. But my whole thing is, Nia Jax, fuck you. Get off my lawn.
Do you want to get to, now after that, you want to get to the SmackDown review?
I think we just gave a SmackDown review.
I think we...
Go through it if you want.
Jesus Christ, what a purge. I thought I purged. Jesus fucking Christ.
I'll get the spray.
Damn. What'd you think, what did you see of SmackDown? You
I
said you had
thought,
it on.
Beginning Cesaro, I even forgot his opponent. That's
Cesaro and, what was it? I wrote it down. Cesaro and Mansoor versus Los Lotharios?
Because, yeah.
Garza and Carrillo.
Right, and it's a shame because I like Cesaro, but, you know.
Well, I heard he hasn't re-signed either, so they might be jobbing him out.
That's a guy I'd like to see in AEW, though.
Back as Claudio?
Oh, hell yeah. He can call himself whatever the hell he wants.
It looks like they're going to be setting up maybe Xavier versus Roman down the road.
Right.
With, I think the Crown, I think it's going to be Crown versus title. That's what I'm thinking. After Survivor Series, which they're not booking at fucking all. We don't know any goddamn thing at all about it.
What else is new with them? They don't book anything.
And like I said, we're taping this October 8th. It's in 2 weeks. There's not
November
a match.
8th.
November 8th. And there's not a fucking match except for the men's title. Men's and maybe, which Russell Talk even said, if you look at the men's side of Raw, 3 weeks ago they were all SmackDown.
And as we're watching this load of crap, that should be Monday Night Football or Caps versus Buffalo, but we're watching this instead because it's relevant to our show.
Yeah.
If you notice, when they go to the gorilla position, you see in the doorway it says we see it right now, Survivor Series, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
They don't...
I feel sorry for... and I know the referee here, and I know D. Edwards because D used to referee for our RCW shows,
right.
And he's refereed for MCW, he's refereed for CZW. I feel sorry for D because he's stuck in hell right now.
Yeah.
Then we had another Naomi-Shayna match, which they're building up Naomi and Sonya.
Okay.
Don't care.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care. Then we had Los Lotharios. Jesus Christ. The Shotzi segment. Did you hear about this? The Shotzi Blackheart segment.
What about it?
She did a promo in the back. She basically turned full-blown heel.
Good.
She changed her look a little bit. She's got her hair differently. She said she's no longer going to come out in the tank. And we don't know how much they're going to change her.
I know a lot of people liked her with the tank, but I kind of wish she would come out as a heel with the tank and run over some fucking people.
Use real bullets in that gun?
Or just put rocks in there or something, you know. Maybe do like one of those gimmick green arrows with like the boxing glove or something.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Then we had Drew have an open challenge, and you know who answered that open challenge? Ricochet.
Yeah.
The moonsault, the Claymore, he caught him in midair with the moonsault was beautiful.
Yeah.
I will say that. Drew wins, LOL. Then we have Mustafa Ali backstage approaching Ricochet, basically trying to form a tag team.
Okay. Well, let me get to that match real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, the way it's booked is like, okay, yeah, the Ricochet's a tremendous mismatch against McIntyre. When they were in NXT and then other indies, I had actually saw them on What Culture's company, where McIntyre was still going by, what was his previous?
Drew Galloway, everybody's real name.
Yeah. And I think he just started calling himself McIntyre W because he had that McIntyre as his Twitter. Yeah. But they had this match. It was amazing. I mean, it was, they went Broadway. It was ridiculous. Yeah. It looks like it was booked on AEW instead of.
Well, everybody thinks Ricochet's this flippity flop machine. He can actually wrestle.
Of course he can.
But everybody thinks he's this big flippity flop, ping 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 video game. It looked like a real video game because of that match he had with Ospreay in Japan. Yeah. Then we had Happy Talk.
And yeah, I can tell you're so happy about Happy.
Corbin and Moss with the Vikings, and the Vikings just want to destroy. Why? Because you rated something?
The Viking Raiders. Yeah. That's the name of a fucking Super Bowl in the 70s. Come on.
Yeah. They took on Corbin and Moss, and they won and the Raiders won by count out. I don't know what they're setting up here. Yeah. Then we had Sami Zayn showing Hit Row how to do a proper intro walkout.
Oh, okay.
Sammy looking like a complete tool.
Well, I mean, they usually do that with him, but they usually do that in a good way with him, but.
Well, like I said in the rant, Hit Row, they took the fangs out of Hit Row already.
Yeah.
So why should we care?
Why should we care anyway?
Then we had the loser would have to bend the knee to the winner. Xavier Woods against Jimmy Uso. If Uso lost, Roman would have to bend the knee. We might have a title match right here. But, and Woods won. Roman didn't do it. He came out and did the Superman punch. And they basically did, They did a beautiful beatdown on Kofi Kingston, and they worked on the leg. So it looks like Xavier's going to be by himself for a while.
Okay.
It looked like a beautiful beatdown. But overall, garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Pretty much.
I mean, remember, I said this on previous shows. Remember when the dream for these young kids was to go to the WWE or WWF and they be the big time?
Yeah.
There's other pots of chili to dive into, if you get my meaning.
Yeah, it's more like they're having bad dreams after eating a pot of chili, and yeah. Ugh.
Well, was it you or somebody else who told me the last show or 2 shows ago, Vince wants everybody to be like him, sleep 3 hours a day and work their asses until the ground. Mm. And if he does sell, and if Hunter takes over, do you see them peeling back the schedule just to go to TV instead of house shows?
I have no idea what they're doing because they have no idea what they're doing.
Well, when proper management takes over, hopefully Disney or Peacock, maybe.
You think they would actually bring proper management after what they've done with Disney's done with the Star Wars and Marvel movies? They're going to be wrestling's going to. I mean, you don't like that one character in NXT about the woke politics. That's all you're going to be fucking seeing on there.
Yeah, or a Peacock.
Yep.
We'll see. Yeah.
And I didn't just say that to prove I'm not.
We're watching. Like I said, we got to see the beatdown of Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
Are we going to see a match? Head of the table for something?
Well, somebody else see a match, I'm sure.
You're not going to watch it.
Yeah.
Like I said, for this show, this is why it's on. And honestly, I'll have this on I'll be playing my PSP. Ming Na Wen.
Yeah, you'll be playing a video with Ming Na Wen. Yeah.
Wait, what? We're watching a commercial right now for Nash Bridges, and they're bringing Nash Bridges back. With Don Johnson, Ming Na Wen, and Cheech Marin?
Hey man, I got this stuff.
That wasn't... and I remember the original series, it was Kelly Hu, not Ming Na Wen.
Yeah, well...
I'm interested. I like the original series.
All right.
But like I said, overall, I'm looking forward to 2 good wrestling shows this upcoming weekend before we do our next taping with the San Jose show with New Japan. And hopefully I'll find one with English commentary. The show I got, the previous show from Osaka was all Japanese.
Okay.
But the thing is, if you know the people, you know the moves, you don't need to know the commentary.
Right, yeah, that's true.
But top to bottom, that New Japan show was way better. Well, then again, AEW is way better than what we're seeing right now.
Chris, I bought my cat a toy that's shaped like a hockey rink. Raven showed better wrestling and told better stories than these idiots from fucking Connecticut. Fuck you. You're not even from New York. You're from fucking Connecticut.
When we taped last time, when Raw was on, we saw a brilliant hour of action. After that, when we stopped taping, didn't we see the same old? Me and you kept on looking into our phones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the extent of it. If I'm home and this is on, I'm playing video games.
Not only that, Chris, but what was the best match on that card?
Becky and Bianca, and that was at the beginning.
And maybe because we turned it on late. Have you seen any women on here at all?
We're going to get a fatal 5-way later.
Oh.
Winner gets the title shot against Becky.
Okay.
Which, remember, there is no December pay-per-view. Because they got rid of TLC altogether. Mm-hmm. And they're going to have a January 1st pay-per-view called Day 1. Then the Royal Rumble at the end of the month. That's 2 pay-per-views in 1 month. If you do not have the network and you have to buy these things, you're going broke. Not to mention if Impact has a pay-per-view, if you're an Uber fan, at Impact and AEW and New Japan to have special events and you have to pay extra for, you're going broke. Am I wrong?
Wait, back up. Going broke from buying I don't know if anybody's gonna buy these fucking things.
Well, if you don't have the network.
Right, but...
Because certain people, I don't want to buy no damn network. I'll do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, we got something in our eye.
Yeah.
Oh, going back.
I mean, yeah, back to your question. I mean, does anybody really want to watch these things, though? I mean, to answer your question, no, I'm not going to spend jack shit on it. I'll pay $5 a month for NWA. I'll maybe pay $5 a week for New Japan, or I'll drive to Philly for a good show. Probably join our friends Lisa and Eric in late December.
I'm going to end with this. The 2 stories I sent you today from Twitter from Quinn McKay and Chelsea Green. They were both harassed online. Somebody mentioned about Quinn McKay that she's going out with Dak Draper down in Ring of Honor, the giant that's there, right?
Right.
Somebody said, well, he should be going there and beating the crap out of people. We don't want that because, did you hear about Dana Brooke last week?
No.
Dana Brooke was harassed online, and here's what happened. Her fiance is a trained MMA fighter.
Okay.
And they found out one of the guys is local. One of them is local. And basically went to the guy's house and beat the living shit out of him. Mm-hmm. You know what? The first thing that came to my head? The end of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Right.
Well, you know where Dana Brooke's fiance is right now? In jail.
Okay.
You can't. It's the right thing to do, but you can't do it.
Right.
Because there's countless times. Remember, I have grandnephews, grandnieces, and my grandnephew plays video games online all the time. If I find out somebody's trolling him, I want to go out and beat the crap out of the guy.
Right.
Oh, God. She's got a shirt now? Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Piper Niven, what are they doing to you?
She's probably thinking the exact thing while she's saying whatever diatribe that they want her to.
Yeah. Hey, Queen Selena, who cares? And Bianca looks like she just got out of jail.
Yeah.
She's wearing prison stripes, by the way.
Yep.
Which, from what I understand, she makes her own gear.
Who does?
Bianca.
Are you surprised at that?
No. But like I says, I feel sorry for Dana. She had to go through all that, and if you were Matt Cardona and Chelsea was I showed you the thing Chelsea got. Wouldn't you be pissed?
Yeah, I was trying to blackmail her through her social media. Yeah.
If you show tits, I'll stop. It's like they called her a slut.
Yeah.
It's like, really, dude? Really? You're an asshole. So, I wish shit like this wouldn't happen because I don't want to see another Hannah Kimura. I don't want to see another Daphne. I
do want to see another Carmella according to this camera angle. Hello.
Hello. Thank you, Corey Graves.
Yeah.
Corey Graves is a lucky man. And so is Killing Dane. Damo. Well, how do you want to end this show, man? We're all over the place right now.
Well, I think we got off everything we.
I don't think I've got a complete purge, but I'm going to save that to whatever fuck ups they're going to do next time.
Oh, don't worry. They'll give us something to rant and scream about.
Rant, scream. I want to do a purge. You drive. I'll get the shotguns.
All right. Give your socials that nobody gives a shit about.
At C Philito on Twitter, Christopher James Philito on Facebook, and I dare you after this, to come after me.
No. We have to have somebody listen to the show to do that, but anyway. Alright, once again we want to thank Eric and Lisa from Lisa Christ Superstar. Those are people you should care about. Go to their Facebook, go to their Twitter, buy their CDs, buy their digital music. Anything that has to do with their fucking band, buy it. Buy it for yourself, and then buy it for somebody else for the holidays coming. You
Scrooge.
You cheap bastards, you filthy animals. Alright. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time.
Stay safe and have a nice day, shitheads!